Hey everybody, well what we're going to do is open up the A340-600 kit from Supreme Hobbies. It just arrived today. This came ahead of time. This is a light kit and it includes all of the bulbs, all of the wiring, and a controller. Sold separately by Supreme Hobbies, but of course that's only if you need it. The reason I bought it was I have the kit, but the kit might be a little difficult for some people to build without an example. And that's why the A340 PNP might be a good option for a handful of you. Alright, well let's do the open and get past the customs issues. When you get this kit, it will be ordered from the website out of Hong Kong. And because of that, it's a Chinese product and it will have to go through Chinese customs. In our case, this came 8 days after ordering. Very expeditious shipping. And I'll let you check out the prices for shipping on the website, rccastle.com. No special deals were made in this case, and there is no incentive from RC Castle or Supreme Hobbies or anybody for that matter. So it's just a strict retail purchase of the A340. Alright, here we go. I don't think we need to take the plastic off of everything. We just need to get into the goods. So, tools required can be as simple as a pair of scissors, or in this case, a razor blade. Just got your usual safety blade right there, or one edge, single edge razor. But what you want to do is get the foam packet out. And it's shrink wrapped fairly well. In this case, the opening is nothing more than grabbing the foam out of the shrink wrap and the reinforcements. Actually, this was fairly well packaged, so if it hadn't been, there could have been damage. In this case, this is the second package received from the same company, and as far as I'm concerned, they do a great job with their packing and shipping, so no argument. Alright, we'll go with the shrink wrap right here on the box. Get that off, and once it's out of the way, let's pull it out of the package. There you go. That's simple. Always be careful with a single edge or any other blade that's sharp. There you go. Shrink wrap off. We're ready to open the box. The box itself seems like a pretty straightforward kind of setup. Nothing more than your usual near vacuum sealed tightness, if you will, if tightness is the appropriate term. I'll leave that to experts in the field. Looks like I'm going to go ahead and pop this as I originally was by just flipping it. But I got one remaining piece. There we go. Alright. Here we go. The box itself is not going to be required. And if I have to pack it back up for a return, well, And I got a little extra work. Here's the instructions. Of course, those are always important. Always read the instructions first. That's what I've heard. And in this case, they come in an 8.5 by 11 packet that looks like, I'm just going to have to cut it out of there anyway. So here you go. This is every single part that comes with the A340-600 series from that website that I mentioned. You might note that they don't screw around on securing stuff. They're actually pretty dang good. And if you get one of these on the other end here, no matter where your international shipping destination might be, I would be comforted to know that the shipping package is, to be honest with you, this well laid out. Look at that. That's incredible. Of course, I'm going to be careful not to let anything drop out, but the reality is you've got your wings, and of course I'm going to go ahead and pull those out here. So let me get the blade. Avoid cutting off any digits. There we go. Wow, that was easy. And I still got all 10. All right, so here you go. Just lay it out nice and smooth. And you can see the fuselage in the back, but here's the wings. And I gotta say, those look pretty dang nice. You can see right here, if you come in with the camera, this looks fairly well streamlined. Of course, we'll have a chance to check it out once it's assembled, but there you go. Just be careful with your foam. As you can see, the wings themselves, you just take one out. There you go. Nice wing. And it's already set up with power from the ESCs all the way to the EDFs that are going to be supplied in the kit. You just mount them and you're good to go. Main gear door looks very nice. Nice clean installation. You can see the main landing gear truck, and of course it's hidden by the gear door. But here are the two ESCs. Very, very critical to operation, but at the same time, you know, these are going to be separated later. We're going to pull them apart. They tend to create a lot of heat. We're going to put two heat sinks on them and install them in such a way that they get some airflow and they can release some of that heat rather than contain it entirely within the compartment for the avionics or electronics there. Look at the top of the wing, very, very nice. I can see that you got two cutouts for the pylons here. They're hand cut. It looks like it's well painted with an aluminum looking finish on the leading edge. You've got the walking surface. This is the walkway of the wing for those that don't actually work on these. They come out the mid-wing hatches, those emergency hatches, in order to do maintenance on top of the aircraft wing, and this is defined as the walkway between the black lines generally, and of course there are a handful of places where you'll see that traditional no step. And that's just basically for the reminder of no idiot. Okay, well anyway, the same thing goes with a tire for those while I'm opening this. They do require generally that you wear rubber-soled shoes if you're going to walk on top of an airliner's wing or a military aircraft's wing. It's sort of a no high heels zone, if you will, although that doesn't restrict anybody outside of normal duty hours. All right, with that in mind, again, the ESC connections are looking good. You got the servos already installed with horns, but there are no control horns to connect to. You've just got the servo arms or horns installed. And of course that's going to require some form of installation, and there'll be a bag in here. All right, again, main gear doors, we'll check that out later and see how well the fit seems to work for us, but both of these will go out of the way. And next step, here we go. Let's get rid of some blocking. And the same thing here, except we're going to tilt it back so nothing tends to fly right out. All right, fuselage plugs. Looks like you've got the first one here. That's probably the aft fuselage plug. It looks like it's not as long. And let's get over here and see if we can find some more stuff. There you go. Here's another fuselage plug. That's probably the forward, but nevertheless, there you go. And again, you can see that there's ample room to maneuver in and out. Take this one out. The other one's very similar, but you can see right through it, and the same thing here. So either way, wherever those go, that makes the long version of the same aircraft, the 4-engine Airbus 340. Basically a giant 707. And of course, I don't mean to upset those of you that are Airbus fans. All right, here's the buggy gear, by the way. This is the mid gear. This is the 4th landing gear that is installed in the actual airplanes where necessary. And of course, it's company by company, because every aircraft, no matter what the model designation, when they order these airliners, they order them specifically for that company. That means that everything down to switches. You know, back in the day when I flew 707s, I've done that as a flight engineer and a pilot, both. And we had to deal with that all the time, because when we went through the Pan Am Academy for training, even the switches, some switches go up to turn them on. But back in the day, Trans World Airlines, TWA, ordered their airplanes with the switches going down to turn them on. And they insisted on that, or they weren't going to buy the airplanes. So there you go. There's the main fuselage. Look at that wing root area. An incredibly long wing root area. And you've got a recess here. That's for alignment purposes and, of course, security in general, but it's mainly for wing alignment right here. And you can see that along with the trailing edge section. And of course, that's just a butt joint, nothing more. So it's going to attach somehow in a way that is going to keep it secure and keep that wing on. All right, next, let's go for the next one. Ooh, doggy. Now we're getting to something. There's an EDF. Look at the very, very streamlined nacelle here. This is typical of the A340. It has a fairly narrow nacelle, not nearly as thick or fat, if you will, as some of the aircraft out there on the market, airliners specifically. But there you go. And of course, if you reach in, there you go, you can see that the multi-blade rotor looks like it's intact, it's uniform, and it's concentric, meaning it's not going to scrape on the perimeter of, or the ring, if you will, of the duct. Okay, the fuselage itself is completed with the nose and a tail cone. This is the tail and tail cone, or what they call the empennage area of the fuselage, the aft fuselage. Great detail, very, very nice. I'm going to look right now at the way they've got it painted up and labeled, and it's not symmetrical, but of course when you're dealing with this, anybody that's built a model airplane knows that you can only see one side at a time, and when it's that accurate, nobody is going to notice anything. In fact, if you look at it, the reality is it's accurate. It's just about the perspective you use when you look at it. Looks like the fuselage bonding is real nice. And of course you can see that it's got a French tail number on it, since the Airbus is assembled in Toulouse, France. At least the Airbus A340 is. All right, here you go. Look at this. That is a beautiful looking nose. It's got an emergency escape hatch that's marked accordingly. Plus, it's actually the forward fuselage entry door. So it works as both in a ground evacuation. And of course, here's your galley entry door, excuse me, and the forward cargo door. So all of those outlined very, very well with nice graphics, and it looks like they just laid it right on, and somebody puts it on a reference mark like this indented window here and this one here, and they know that the rest of them are true. All right, well, in here, looks like wiring for the nose landing gear retract, and also possibly the nose gear lights. Either way, looks like the flight deck area is real nicely done. And we got a ding up here, not anything substantial. And the nose gear doors also allow for closure when the nose gear is down. All right, other than that, let me show you the rest of it. And again, just make sure you don't drop stuff out. Anybody that's watched enough of these on YouTube has probably seen somebody do that. So that's engine number 2 of 4. And of course, here you got the horizontal stab and the restrictions, the actual detailed restrictions manual. Full instructions, looks like it's just a general black and white quality, but high resolution, so shouldn't have any problem following this. The other side of the horizontal stabilizer, and of course these two will fit together on the fuselage. It looks like several degrees of stability built in with dihedral. And of course you can have either dihedral or you can have anhedral. Either way, they both work equally. All right, next, looks like we've got the vertical stab. Well, that is A340, but if you turn it over, it definitely is A340. All right, the huge Super 707 is coming to life. All right, more stickers. It looks like we've got extra cabin door stickers. That could be for aft entry door area that may not be marked. No, it is. So those are extras. And it might possibly be for the fuselage extensions if you want to put the accurate door emblems on there to represent additional doors. Remember that there is a federal regulation in the United States that requires emergency evacuation within 90 seconds from a fully loaded airplane. And so additional entry and exit doors are required in order to meet that evacuation requirement. Otherwise, I'm sure the manufacturers wouldn't put them in. They just say, hey, 4 entries and exits is plenty. All right, that's it. Everything is out of the box. As you can see, everything is intact. This got here in 8 days. I think that given the fact that it was ordered on a Thursday, if you will, it arrived on a Thursday. Everything looks high quality. And if you have any questions, of course, feel free to send an email. You'll have the email address in the comments section down there. Also, don't hesitate to like and subscribe. We hope that you enjoyed this. It's a lot of fun in one small box, but it got here intact. We're looking forward to flying it. So until then, see ya.